Hello, beautiful beings. Ancients, what should we talk about first? I was recently on a dating site, and I can't change the YouTube settings on my Android phone to make sure that we're supposed to make them made for children or not made for children, and my videos are not made for children. So if you YouTube people are watching this video, could you somehow set my videos to not made for children? When I get a computer, I'll definitely do it myself, but I just can't censor myself. I can't censor whether I'm going to swear or what I'm going to talk about. That is not being a clear open channel. So, and the one of the major thoughts that I've been following around, one reason that I haven't been making videos is I watch other people's videos that seem incredibly successful, and success to me would be the fact that I knew that I was helping a lot of people. That's the only point of these videos, is the first part of my life, my mind was, I felt so insane every single day. I'm not exaggerating. I would wake up in the morning and my mind would start to pick up speed, and I would just torturous. So that's who I am. That's who I make these videos for, is beings with deep amnesia. So my mind tries to fit my videos in a certain box, or tries to make me think that they should look a certain way or whatever, and I can't. I absolutely cannot. I have to have it be spur of the moment. Whatever's coming through in the moment, that has to be the way it is, and maybe I will never fully understand why I'm doing it like this. But for about a year ago, when I started making videos again, I was extremely compelled to make videos whether I was feeling happy or down, in a major shed. It didn't matter whether I had makeup on. What does this say? I need to just be a clear open channel. And that's what I'm really striving on. And I just have to trust that that will help people. Okay, so they're reassuring me right now that the things that do come out, like my own personal experiences that happen, that I'm going through at the time, they do have so much to do with thinking, and not identifying with thoughts, the thoughts that I always identified with, that I thought were me. Anyway, so I was just on a dating site recently, and I met this guy. I was only on this dating site for 2 days because it was connected to my Facebook profile. And even though my Facebook profile is private, they could still go to my messenger. And I was getting creepy messages from creepy men, and I didn't like it. So I got off of that dating site. However, one man had caught my attention. And he caught my attention because he had posted some pictures, not of himself, but of a type of, how do I say this? Sexual lifestyle that I like. And so that intrigued me. And so I started talking to him, and plus he was the first one to welcome me to the dating site. And this was a very local dating site. This person happened to live 2 hours away, which was fine with me because I really just want to, build, even though there was this sexual interest. Well, it's rare. What I like, it seems very rare if there's anybody else out there that has the same type preference. Anyway. So, and if I get comments in the comments section about just this part of my video, I am not responding. Just know that you'll be wasting your time, because I'm not even going to read it. Once I see if it's just barely going into that, I'm ignoring it. So anyway, You know, the really amazing thing about talking to this man was that he didn't just want to talk about that. We talked about so many different things, and he had a deep desire, it seemed like, to also have a very special friend. And he's far enough away to where I felt like I just don't. You would have to be an incredibly special person to have in my experience, in my space all the time. And I believe that there is a divine partner that is meant for me, that will our paths will meet. And it will be very easy, very natural. When I reach out to dating sites, that is kind of a giveaway to me that, you know, I've fallen back into that old personal identity. Because if I'm looking for a mate, it's just something that I always use. I was obsessed with. And when I am in my natural state of being, those thoughts don't even cross my mind. It's just, I mean, not the looking for. I feel like it's a natural feeling on this planet to have these feelings every so often to, yeah, it'd be really nice to have a companion, but not a longing type feeling. So, okay, so I talked to this man, and it was really fun and really exciting in many different ways. And also he's 6'10", which is just, oh, it's right up there with an accent. So that made him just so much more attractive to me. And anyway, so, you know, I even sent Mom, I sent him a little video clip of myself asking him to send me a video clip of himself talking, because, you know, you can talk to somebody for weeks and see each other's pictures and hear each other's voice, but then you meet in person and it's like completely, you feel their essence, you know, and their mannerisms, and it has been a deal breaker for me almost every single time, if not every single time. There's one exception, but this guy, the one exception, he turned out to have a wife in a different town. So dating sites have never, ever, ever produced anything good for me, except for lessons learned from my own personal experience. So I sent my mom this video clip. I said, Mom, what do you think? What's your vibe here? And he did everything I asked him to do, like super willingly. He felt really, really open, anything that he could do to reassure me. So I sent this video clip to my mom, and she said, wow, he seems really kind, you know, really, really genuine. And I said, I think so too. And then, like, I don't know, the fifth or sixth day, we spoke for about a week. The fifth or sixth day, he sent me a full-length picture of himself that somebody had taken of him. He's 6'10", you know, I really did want to see what he looked like, you know, full length and full height. And I zoomed in on his face, and I literally jumped. It scared me that bad. His face looked like a mugshot. And I thought, oh my gosh, who does he look like? Who does he look like? And I got it. It was Richard Kuklinski. Richard Kuklinski was called the Iceman. He was a hitman for the mob. And also he loved what he did, so he was considered a serial killer also. I looked up pictures of Richard Kuklinski, zoomed in, saved it, and put it up beside the face of the man that I had been talking to for a week. Holy shit. They looked so much alike in their eyes. Their face too, but in their eyes. So much anger. Wow. Really scary. I didn't send those pictures to my mom because I didn't want to scare her. Oh. My nose itches so bad right now. It's a good sign, because when you start channeling, I've noticed with intuitive tarot readers, their noses start itching really bad when they start channeling. So I sent the pictures to Gabriella, and she was just like, oh my gosh, I got goosebumps. These guys look so scary, especially the one on the right. And then I was messaging her back, and I was saying, I was going to say, this is the guy I've been talking to. This is a serial killer on the right. And I don't remember. Okay, so I did send that, and she said she thought that they were the same person. And the one on the left was just a younger picture of the one on the right. I was just like, see, you can see it. And I said, what do you see when you look at the one on the left? And she said, anger. I see anger. Oh my gosh. So, you know, that's my intuition. I could meet somebody and have the projection of my mind, how it was going to be, the physical excitement, you know, when I got to hug him for the first time, how amazing the height difference was going to be, all the things we had talked about that we were going to get to do, you know, all these things can really cloud, they can be louder than my own intuition. I'm so sorry, my nose is so itchy right now. Oh my gosh, okay. So, but I've been learning for many years now how to trust my intuition. And by trusting my intuition, that's one way the mind gets more quiet. When I'm more focused on what I'm really hearing him say, opposed to what I really want to hear him say. So the two deal breakers for me were the fact that he only saw his daughter once a week, even though he lived in the same town as her. He blamed it on his ex-wife, the laws which are the same in the same state that I live in, and he blamed not getting to see his daughter more than once a week on the mediator. That's all bullshit. It's bullshit. There's no law that states you can only see your daughter once a week just because that's the law. He threw that out there like I would buy it. I'm sure some women would, but no, I'm much more intelligent than that. His reasons were very narcissistic. That's a huge narcissistic trait, or some type of social disorder, is when the person blames everybody else and not themselves. They have no ability to introspect. So that was a huge red flag. Well, the picture was. And then this was the deal breaker. This was the cincher for me. On the 6th or 7th day of us talking, it was last Saturday, we were talking sexually, and I mean, because that's fun, especially if you're on the same page about it. And it can be very fun. If it's all about that, that is a deal breaker right there. If they don't want to ever talk about anything else, or if I have to keep trying to steer them off of that subject, deal breaker. I don't even last 2 days talking to somebody like that. You can see that right away. This guy was a little bit more skilled. He definitely was engaging in other topics. Anyway, so here comes day 6 or 7. We're talking sexually, and he says, oh, hey, what are you doing for the rest of the day? I thought, wow, maybe he's going to drive up here and we're going to go to dinner. No. I said, oh, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. He said, well, you know, my parents have a cabin in the woods, and if you drive an hour and a half and I drive an hour and a half, we could meet in the middle. Immediately, I just felt all jammed up in my head. Just like, wait, what's happening here? And I was like stammering and stuttering, and we were leaving voice texts back and forth to each other, voice messages. There's a voice recorder app that I use because I don't like to message much with anybody that I'm talking to. And also, if it's somebody that I don't know, it's more personal. I get a better vibe, a better feel for who they are through their voice. And so I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't have enough gas. And I said, well, as you can hear, I'm pretty shocked that you're inviting me to do that. And he came back with, of course, well, I can give you gas money when you get here. He was very persistent and stopped sending the voice messages. He was only texting at that point. And I said, no, I am not taking your money. And I said, what happened to this woman that you were going to take on a real date, and, you know, no pressure or anything. And then you would actually, and if something did happen, he had said, if something did happen, I would definitely be calling you the next morning and treating you like the queen that you are. I said, you know, I think that you have me mistaken for somebody else. I left this in a voice text. You have me mistaken for somebody else because I am the queen that you were talking to. And, you know, this queen is not insane enough to meet a man that she just met, a 6'10" man at that, in the woods, in a cabin in the woods. That's how people get murdered. I would never do that. I would never even consider doing that. If I told any of my 3 daughters that I was even considering doing that, they would be so upset. They'd be angry, and then they would be crying. They couldn't even imagine if no, I would never do that. And even after that response, he was still insistent. Oh, you know, trying to tell me what a good guy he is. And there's there's a cafe right down the street. He would still take me out. No. I said, no, this is absolutely not happening. You know, you don't see your daughter more than once a week. There's a good reason for that, and I feel like it's your temper. And no, any promise that I felt of having any type of, you know, relationship with you, friendship or other, it is absolutely gone from your invitation. I can see you now. I can see you plainly, and, you know, I don't expect a response back from you. I'm not responding to you. I just see a plane, you know, just going down in flames. And so I feel like the main reason that I want to tell you about this is I can understand people that aren't trusting their intuition. If I am doing something that I can't share with my own mother or my daughters or anybody else, I should not be doing it. No matter how exciting it seems, no matter how exciting it seems, that's the only reason that I would ever want to ignore my instincts, is because of physical excitement, the projections of the mind of how exciting it could be, you know, that could be incredibly exciting with somebody that was trustworthy, somebody that I knew for a really long time, but no, that is how people get murdered. And I've probably said that before. It doesn't just happen to other people. It happens to people that don't trust their instincts, that trust the projection of their minds more than their own true voice. So, don't do that. Ask all the pertinent questions. Ask the boyfriend prayer right away. Right away. If I ever get back on a dating site, I mean, it only took a few days for me to say the boyfriend prayer, but I swear, if I ever get on a dating site again, or meet anybody, you know, just out and about, I'm saying the boyfriend prayer right away. It really brings up the most pertinent things that I need to know. It really brings things to light very, very quickly. I've seen it for others over and over and over again, and they are really shocked by just the things that start happening right away if that person is not supposed to be in their life. Yeah, they are reminding me that, you know, certain people will not be removed right away, because sometimes, you know, when I say please remove that person from, if they're not in my life for my highest good, sometimes a person that seems to be stirring things up is in my life for my highest good. They are the presenter for what I am shedding, for what I need to shine my light of awareness on. And without them being the presenter, I wouldn't be seeing it like I am. But, you know, a certain person can be treated with the boyfriend prayer many times. I don't just say it for once, especially like for my last roommate, the alcoholic roommate that I was living with for 1.5 years. I said the boyfriend prayer towards him, even though he was never my boyfriend. I said it many times. I treated it. They're saying I treated the situation with the fear prayer, remove this fear and direct my attention to what you'd have me be. Many times I treated the situation with that. And, you know, lo and behold, finally the lessons will be learned, and a person will get to move on from these people that feel like they're causing so much trouble. They get removed because I have been able to let go of, you know, what was drawing them to me in the first place. Ancients, is there anything else we want to talk about right now? I just really feel like I want to give you my word that I am going to be making videos no matter what my mind says. Because when I'm compelled to, I'm compelled to. No matter what I'm doing, I'm just like, I hear it from the ancients. I hear it from the divine. It's all the same to me. Some people call it God. It's this, all of a sudden, I just feel compelled to make a video and I feel really happy and excited about it, even if I feel down. It's this life force coming through and saying, let's make a video. Okay, what are we going to talk about? I ask that right when right before I start. What are we going to talk about? Because I don't know. And it needs to stay that way. At least for me, it does. You know, other people on YouTube, it's none of my business how they do it. It's none of my business how many subscribers they have. That is not my destiny. It is not my path to ever even have it look like that. I don't know. And I need to stay not knowing. I even need to not know if I'm still in a shed or not. Because keeping saying that I'm in this shedding process is keeping me in a shedding process. I may be in one, but I'm going to try really hard to stop labeling wherever I am at any given moment. And I just want to share my experiences with you because I used to have an absolutely insane mind. And I need to be living proof that it doesn't have to be that way. My mind is quiet now, even when I'm feeling the collective heavy energy of the planet. It's a new moon right now. It's Memorial Day where I live. Those are very intense energies going on. I don't need to label those. I do mention them because they definitely have an effect on how I feel. But I don't need to label it as, oh, I think I may be almost through this last 7 years of shedding. I don't know. I don't know if it will ever end because it's not just this lifetime of personal conditioning that I'm shedding. It's lifetimes. It could be from the very beginning of lifetimes that I'm shedding. So I don't know if there is an end to it. So that's one reason my mind has protested when I feel compelled to make a video. That's one reason it has protested against making them, is because it tells me I need to reach a certain place or be a certain way to be successful. I'm not looking to be successful. I just know that it's my destiny on the planet to help other beings with deep amnesia to wake up. That's it. And this is the only way that I know how to right now. I rescued a skunk once. This is just an example of how I feel when I don't make videos when I'm compelled to, when I listen to my mind instead. I start feeling really sad and really backed up with like just this whatever wants to come through. I saved a skunk once. He had a peanut butter jar on his head, and there was a couple more people there, and there was a big hole in the side of this greenhouse. And I said, you better get that hole fixed in the greenhouse because the bears are going to come and they're going to be in the greenhouse with all the garbage that's in there. Well, a skunk got in there, and this man, he woke me up. He was just like, hey, we can either kill this skunk or you can come out and save it. And I was just like, what do you think? And I had a dear friend, Luke. He had passed away not very long before that. And I had went to his service and I went to his apartment and got some of his clothes. And so I jumped up and I said, okay, Luke, which clothes are you willing to sacrifice for the life of this skunk? And so I put on a pair of his pants, and I put on this like hoodie that he used to love. And hey, Luke, he's here now. Anyway, so I went out to this greenhouse and this skunk had a peanut butter jar stuck on his head, and this skunk was almost dead. There was no air in this jar at all. It was a small one. It was really stuffed on there. And so the guy that had come to get me, he was like trying really hard to get this peanut butter jar off of this skunk's head, and I was trying to, you know, pull back his fur and stuff, and then the other guy that was there, they were my roommates at the time. Two vets, not animal vets. There were two vets. And, so the other vet was like taking pictures and of what was going on. And so we get the jar off this skunk's head, and he's almost dead, and he was laying in my arms, and we're just like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. Oh, he's so cute. And I had these gloves on, and I had tucked this skunk's tail down underneath his butt in between his back legs, and I was like holding his tail up against his tummy, and you know, to like try to like plug his sprayer. And we were just so into the fact that we were petting a skunk and taking pictures of him, and he was starting to stir a little bit, you know, and I was just like, come on, you can make it, you can do it. And then all of a sudden I realized this skunk was getting stronger, much stronger. It was about a teenage sized skunk. And I was just like, I had a plan in my mind. I was going to run this skunk up this side of the mountain and then down this other side to the creek with this beautiful mossy area. I just thought it would be perfect for him. And so I was just like, I gotta go, you guys. I gotta haul ass up this mountain, then down the other side of it to get him down to this one spot. And they started laughing, and because he kept trying to spray, but I had his tail tucked under, and when he would try to spray, I could hear it all backed up. It like backed up inside of him. And so they're laughing, I'm laughing, starting to run up this hill with this skunk. I get to this plateau, you know, and by then he's really, really trying to spray me. And so I start running down the other side, down to the creek. It wasn't as far down the other side. And right when I got there to the moss, I'm thinking, wait, how do I throw him? Like, how do you chuck a skunk without getting sprayed? And so I did, you know, I just got as low to the ground as I could, and I just flung him, tried to fling his butt away from me, and he was spraying, and I just started running the other way and peeling off Luke's clothes all the way down the mountain. Oh my gosh. He didn't actually like spray my head or anything, but I definitely smelled like skunk. My example, why I gave you that example is when I trust the thoughts in my mind more than the feelings that come through and the thoughts that come through from the ancients, from divine sources. When I trust my mind more, I feel like that backed up skunk. I do. I start feeling sick and sad and like I'm not fulfilling my purpose. And that's to reach people that are trapped in thinking's endless hold. That brings me to a poem that I found the other day. Oh, it's getting to be almost a half an hour. Wow, that's amazing. I had no idea. Wow. Oh, did I put it right up here? I want to see. I want to read it to you. I was looking for a piece of paper the other day, and yeah, here it is. I was looking for a piece of paper to write down how I felt, and I found this poem. And it explained exactly how I was feeling. This poem, I wrote this February 28th, 2017. A warrior of light emerges from her broken mold to help awaken beings caught in thinking's endless hold. The ancient ones are guiding her to what she's always known, shedding the illusion that she ever was alone. Her ship has not unloaded, but she's feeling sweet relief. She knows her only captor was a held-on-to belief. It was so amazing. I was just like, are you kidding me? Wow. So perfect. And I wrote it. It's signed Mama G, you know, because that's who I am. You know, I was given this beautiful name, Patina, when I was born, and I've had that for my whole life. But through this shedding process, I still do feel like Patina, but I feel my essence feels like Mama G. And that's what, you know, Papa G named me, and he gave me that name on my 3rd day of my awakening, and I hadn't even looked at a video of Papa G yet, and he came to me in the field, and I just feel like this evolution, this ascension has been to shed, you know, obviously the useless personal identity and to be Mama G. And that's being Mama G looks like letting whatever comes through come through, and not having to know how it's going to help somebody, but to ultimately know that that is the purpose of my videos, is to help as many beings with amnesia as possible, because it's possible to not have amnesia anymore. I'm living proof. I think that's it. I just saw the little hourglass with the time running through, and wow. So if you have a question for me, if you have a question about your life, if you feel super stuck, you know, you just feel like man, I can't believe I'm here again. If you have a question for me, please leave it in the comment section, and I will ask that question right before or right when I start making my next video, and we will see what comes through from the ancients. You can also email me at songwithmamag@gmail.com. I love you so much. I'll talk to you really soon. Whether I'm crying, whether I have makeup on, whatever. I'm just going to make videos when I feel compelled to.